going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a great day. Today we are back again with another video on my 2024 Mustang S650. This is the GT that we picked up just the other day, so if you guys didn't watch that video yet, here's a little card for you to watch it after this one. In this video today, we're going to be going through all the options I chose on this car and going more in depth on the base Mustang, because this is a base GT with the 301A package. And my research, there isn't much content out yet on the base cars, especially with the 301A. I specifically want to go into what the 301A package gives you, and is the base GT the best version of the new S650 Mustang to buy? Or should you spend a little extra money and get the premium? That's really what I want to answer in today's video, and I hope it helps you guys out as you're looking into maybe purchasing one of these cars. So let's go take a look at all the options I chose for this one and what that package, that 301A package, gets you. Well, here she is, guys. Just picked it up the other day, and man, I still don't even believe this is real, honestly. But this is the exterior. We went with Grabber Blue. If you didn't see that already, you might be blind. This is just a quick eye exam before we get into it. But anyways, guys, there's a couple things on the exterior before we get into that 301A package of what I just want to touch on. And so the first thing here is we didn't go too crazy with any of the options on this car. Basically, this is a base in full. All it has is the 301A package, and it has the 10-speed automatic transmission. That's the only two options that are on this thing, besides the space gray interior, which we'll take a look at in just a little bit, try to give you guys a better glimpse of what that interior kind of looks like in case you guys are looking at ordering. But one kind of funny thing with this car that the configurator didn't really point out, and I wanted to run it past you guys, is the emblems. So on the base, you know, you'll get these black wheels, which actually look pretty good. You do have new calipers for this generation as well, even on the base cars, and they are Brembos, which is really cool. So that's neat, and they're all right for a stock wheel. I will be changing these out soon. If you guys have been watching my channel for a long time, you already know what we're putting on this car. But that aside, on the configurator, all the emblems were black. And so when I got the car, I was kind of confused when I walked up to it and I saw that the pony was silver. Now, this one isn't like the last S550 generation. This one is like a brushed silver. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but it is a nicer look, in my opinion, for a stock kind of, you know, silver pony there in the front. I do like it. And then the badges on the side, they are black, but they have that same brushed kind of silver with the black inlay, and the black actually has a little bit of a texture to it. So it is kind of cool, but I thought they were going to be completely black. So something to just make note of there. Same thing with the GT emblem in the back of the car. Not that it really matters all that much here, guys, but it is something that the configurator, either I missed it or it wasn't on there, and I don't think I missed it because I looked at this car and ordered it specifically for months. So it is just kind of interesting that they went this route. Now you can get the Night Pony package, of course, which gives you the black mirror caps, the black roof, I believe, black badges, black wheels, all that fun stuff. So that's probably where the renderings were coming from, little bits and pieces of that for the emblems. But it is something to just watch out for. But anyways, let's jump into the interior. That's really what I want to talk about here, and we'll go into what that 301A package has. All right, guys, let's take a look at the inside of the base GT here, and I want to start off first with the door panels. So you can see the space gray interior is going to give you this kind of color material, which I think looks really nice, especially with the Grabber Blue. But this also has kind of the vinyl leather. I'm not sure if this is real leather or vinyl because it feels pretty nice, but I'm not 100%. It does feel good solid material. You also get this kind of carbon fiber looking plastic here inside the vehicle, and I was unsure about this before I got in the car and actually seen it and felt it, but this is actually really nice, and I do think it levels up the interior a bit on the new S650s. Moving on though from the door panels to kind of the most important part of the 301A package on the base cars here is you'll be able to option the vinyl and cloth interior seats here. So the vinyl, honestly, I think it helps break up this seat and makes it look quite a bit more premium looking. I was pleasantly surprised too with how good this vinyl feels. I wouldn't actually know it's vinyl and not leather if I didn't look at the spec sheet and, you know, if it wasn't really my car. If I just got into one of these, I'd be like, oh cool, leather and cloth seats. That's pretty awesome, because it does feel really nice, guys. You also get heated driver and passenger seats with the 301A package, which I think is awesome. I know my wife will appreciate that in the cooler months. Even though we're in Georgia, it doesn't get all that cold. But yeah, guys, the seats, really awesome. Back seats look great as well. But getting in the car, guys, this is where I was also pleasantly surprised. So the steering wheel in the base car. Now, this isn't like a 301A package deal. This is just for the base. This is what the setup you would get. And the base wheel honestly feels great, in my opinion. You get the flat bottom, which is awesome. I'm really happy that they did that with this generation. The notches where you're gonna hold the wheel the most here feels great. You do have a little indentation for the thumb here. It just feels like a really sporty, kind of fun wheel. And again, this is offered on the base. You do get, you know, the details here on the wheel. I think looks great. You know, when I first saw this design though, when they first came out, I thought it kind of looked like a truck wheel or something, but really it's grown on me quite a bit. I do really like the interior and how it looks. So if you do spring for the premium interior, you'll get like a dual leather steering wheel. So it has like two different variants of leather on it, which I'm sure feels amazing as well. But for the base, I can't complain about this wheel at all. Now we'll just turn it on here so you can see some of the animations here real quick. But you also get a few other things with the 301A package. Now you can hear the startup chimes here real quick. But isn't that crazy? You're also going to get the 9-speaker stereo system, which actually is what I had in the EcoBoost, and it's a very nice stereo. It's nothing too crazy, but it is better than the straight up bass audio system. You do get ambient lighting, so that means you can change the color of, you know, everything in the pockets here. You know, everything is customizable with the different ambient lighting, which is cool, and that's what my color is, if you're not familiar with that. You also get dual zone climate control in a 301A package car, so that's kind of nice. So if your significant other wants it way warmer than you want it, you can make that, you know, change for them, which is pretty neat. And you get like Sirius XM and HD radio, which I really don't care about that much. Now quickly, the other thing that I want to just kind of chime in on here, if you will, is the base screens here. So a lot of people, you know, I think they're going back and forth between, do you want to have two displays or do you want to have one and have it all connected? The thing that I just couldn't get my head around is that there has to be something missing here, right? Like Ford wouldn't just give you two displays instead of one, but have all the same features of the premium included on the base, right? Honestly, they did. They literally act the same in the base car than they do in the premium. The only difference is that it's connected in one big thing of glass instead of two separate screens. Honestly, guys, the functionality of the infotainment, the gauge clusters, all the themes, the driving modes, all that stuff is the same in a base car that it is in the premium. So honestly, if you're okay with two separate screens and you just don't care if they're connected, I really didn't care personally, and I've grown to actually, I really like the way it's set up in the base, then go with the base. You know, you're not missing out on anything in terms of the actual functionality that you would in the premium. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. One other thing I'll say regarding the seats of the 301A package is that you'll get power driver's seat, but the passenger is still manual. So just a little note there, make sure you look at that. However, it is nice to have power for the driver. Passenger, you know, if you do have passengers in the car, it's not that big a deal to have a manual seat in there. Saves probably a little weight as well, so that might be good. Now guys, I'm gonna get out of the car because I wanna address one other thing that I'm getting a lot of messages on, and they're asking, what does the base exhaust sound like? Not the active exhaust, but the actual stock exhaust dual tip version, what does it sound like? Is it any good? And honestly, I can say for a stock exhaust, it's pretty decent. I personally, I mean, I might be a little bit off here because I owned an EcoBoost before this and I liked the way that sounded. So now hearing that V8 growl as I'm driving this, it is pretty cool. So all the EcoBoost guys, I love you as well. But the 5.0, it does sound good, I'm not gonna lie. But I wanna give you guys a couple exhaust revs, a startup of the stock exhaust on these cars. So maybe it can help kind of push you one way or the other if you're thinking about doing the active exhaust or just settling for the standard stock exhaust like what I did. Now, what better way to test the exhaust out and show you guys how it sounds than doing the little remote start feature and the remote rev feature from the key fob that Ford introduced for the S650 lineup. At first I thought this was a really gimmicky kind of feature, but after I showed a couple people at work the feature and you know, we were playing around with it a little bit at home, it is kind of cool, and I've changed my tune on that a little bit. I do kind of like it. So to start the remote rev feature, we have to first remote start the car. So that's going to be hitting the lock button and the remote start button twice, and the car will start up. So we'll listen to how that sounds, and then after that, to arm it, you hit the unlock and lock. That'll rev it once, you'll hear it in a second, and then you hit that same sequence, unlock and lock again, and that'll rev you up the 3 different rev increments, which is pretty cool. So let's see how that stock exhaust sounds. Well, you heard it there, guys. The stock exhaust, it sounds pretty good. Hopefully the mic picked it up okay. It sounds pretty good for a factory exhaust. I know soon it won't be factory anymore and we'll have an aftermarket setup on there and it'll probably blow that out of the water, but from the factory, it actually sounds pretty decent. Now, would I have liked the quad exhaust, the 4 tips? Yes, I think I would have. And it looks like it's pretty easy to add to these cars if you either replace the factory valance with the premium valance, or, I mean, we might just be able to cut that out a little bit. It looks like there's not much in the way and we could easily make it fit. So there's a couple options there, but we'll just have to see as we start modifying the car and you know, going through the process of making it my own. So guys, I hope that gives you guys a little bit of a little bit more in-depth look at what the 301A package includes and what a base car will get you. Honestly, I am still blown away with this thing. This is my first new car. It is a dream of mine, like I said in the last video when I took delivery, of buying a V8, getting to experience that. And I don't know, I just feel super lucky to be able to bring this content to you guys. So if you guys want to watch the full build on this vehicle progress and learn more about this car, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. I'd love to have you along for the ride. And if you guys like this video, hit that like button for me. It really helps the video just reach more people. So with that all being said, guys, I'm gonna go take this thing for a rip and have some fun with it this weekend. Hopefully you guys have a great day, and we will catch you in the next video. Bye.